Shopify made one internal decision in 2023 that quietly doubled the productivity of their engineering teams. Most people missed it, but the ripple effects are still reshaping how every tech company thinks about hiring. Here's the setup. Shopify is the platform powering over 2 million businesses worldwide. From solo Etsy refugees to massive brands like Gymshark and Heinz. By 2023, they were already a titan. But they had a problem that was slowing them down from the inside. Like most fast-growing tech companies, Shopify had layers. Teams requesting teams. Managers managing managers. And a growing backlog of features that engineers couldn't ship fast enough. Sound familiar? It should. It's the same trap almost every successful company falls into. Then their CEO, Toby Lütke, made a call that most executives wouldn't dare to make publicly. He told every team at Shopify, "Before you ask for more headcount, you have to prove that AI cannot do the job first." That's not a suggestion. It's policy. And here's what makes it interesting. He put it in writing, in an internal memo that later leaked. Suddenly, the whole tech world was reading Shopify's internal operating system. The memo was blunt. Lütke called AI the new baseline. He said refusing to use AI at work was like refusing to use the internet in 2005. A bit dramatic? Maybe. But it landed. Hard. Now here's where things get genuinely surprising. Most companies were treating AI as a productivity tool. A nice to have. Something to bolt onto existing workflows. Shopify did the opposite. They made AI the filter through which every resource decision had to pass. That's a fundamentally different posture. And it changed the math on almost everything. Engineers started using GitHub Copilot and internal AI tools to write code faster. Not slightly faster, dramatically faster. Tasks that used to take a week were getting done in a day. Entire feature cycles compressed. And because they weren't adding headcount at the same rate, the cost structure started looking very different. But it wasn't smooth. Not at all. Some employees pushed back. Quietly at first, then less quietly. The fear wasn't irrational. If AI can do your job faster, what exactly is your job now? That's not a philosophical question anymore. It's a very practical one. And Shopify didn't fully answer it. At least not publicly. There was also the question of quality. Speed without quality is just faster failure. Some teams shipped things too quickly and had to roll back. The enthusiasm for AI-generated code occasionally outpaced the discipline to review it. Sound familiar? It's the same pattern we saw with copy-paste Stack Overflow code in the early days. New tool, same old human shortcuts. And then there's the hiring freeze that nobody quite called a hiring freeze. Shopify didn't announce layoffs in the traditional sense, but their headcount growth slowed dramatically. In a market where most tech companies were still rebuilding after 2022, Shopify was choosing not to hire where AI could fill the gap. That's a quieter, subtler move. But it's arguably more disruptive to the job market than a splashy round of layoffs. Here's the part most people are missing entirely. This wasn't just an AI story. It was a leverage story. Toby Lütke wasn't trying to replace engineers. He was trying to make each engineer worth more. If one person can now do what 3 people used to do, that changes the entire value equation of your workforce. You don't need 100 good engineers. You need 20 exceptional ones with the right tools. And that's the quiet revolution happening inside Shopify right now. The company isn't shrinking. It's compressing, getting denser, more powerful per person. Revenue per employee climbed. Margins improved. And Shopify's stock, which had been battered through 2022, started recovering faster than most analysts predicted. The decision to make AI mandatory, not optional, not encouraged, mandatory, turned out to be a forcing function. It pushed people through the discomfort of learning new tools. And on the other side of that discomfort, genuine capability gains. So what's the actual takeaway here? Shopify's move only worked because it came from the top, with teeth. A company memo that says, "We encourage AI adoption," gets ignored. A memo that says, "Prove AI can't do this before you ask for more resources," changes behavior overnight. The difference is consequence. Most companies are still in the encouragement phase. Shopify skipped it. If you're leading a team right now or thinking about where AI fits in your work, the Shopify lesson isn't use AI. It's make AI the default assumption, not the exception. Ask not what AI can help with. Ask what still actually requires a human. That's the harder question. And it's the one that leads to real efficiency. The companies that will thrive in the next 5 years aren't the ones that dabble. They're the ones that restructure around what AI makes possible. Shopify saw that early. And they moved fast. Subscribe to Vector Tech AI. We break down a new AI business story every week.